What is up, YouTube? Today we're doing another book review. I've already read it, but we're reviewing Stephen King's End of Watch. I will talk about the whole trilogy here, the Bill Hodges Trilogy. It's a really good read. I do suggest that you pick it up. I loved it. I think I would give the entire trilogy 4 out of 5, with the best being End of Watch out of 4, and the worst being Finders Keepers at about a 2. And then Mr. Mercedes kind of fits in there in the middle. The big picture of the trilogy is suicide and suicide awareness. And it was he did a really good job at portraying different point of views of suicide. And bringing awareness to suicide. And even in the end of, End of Watch, King talks about, how suicide's a really big issue in today's culture, and he wanted to, kind of bring a little bit of awareness to it. Like in the book, he actually puts the suicide prevention hotline in there, and it's the real phone number. And so it's really intense in some parts. You feel for these people who are attempting suicide and actually committing suicide. Really intense read from that perspective. This book definitely has like the King style supernatural stuff going on in it. Finders Keepers, like I may have said before, is a rabbit trail in the middle of the story. Like, it's a cool book, it's a cool read, but it's not a part of like the main story, I guess. I guess a couple of things happen in there, but it's maybe 3 full pages of, main storyline in that book. Brady Hartsfield is like the villain of the story, and he's only really talked about in like the last chapter or 2 of Finders Keeper. Like, he's the main villain in Mr. Mercedes. He's Mr. Mercedes, excuse me, and he's the main villain in End of Watch. And it's really, he's really not in Finders Keepers. He's not the villain in Finders Keepers, which is kind of like, okay, alright. And there's nothing really supernatural. It doesn't have to be supernatural. I'm not saying that it's not supernatural so it stinks. I'm just saying that there is like King's version of supernatural things going on in End of Watch, and it's not really a part of either Mr. Mercedes or Finders Keepers. Definitely a good read though. I would suggest it. It's a cop drama about a retired detective, and he puts up, the second book is where he like creates a company that hunts people down. They're not really bounty hunters. They're, they find things and, return stolen stuff and stuff. It's cool the way that they interact, and like he brings back the whole crew from the end of Mr. Mercedes, and the crew's still together at End of Watch with Holly Gibney and what's his name? Jerome. That's his name. Wow, that just escaped me. They're together through the whole series. It's just that, in Finders Keepers, it's really kind of low-key main storyline. So essentially, the story it's a cop drama, and it's a suicide awareness. Really, other people may not have picked up on that as much as I have. I hope they had, because it's really evident that that's what it's about. And it might be a really intense read if you or somebody that you know has attempted suicide or even committed suicide. Like, it would be a really challenging read at that if that's the situation that you're in. But it's definitely worthwhile. It gives good perspectives on the different aspects, like from the personal perspective of somebody who is attempting suicide, from a perspective of family members and stuff like that. It's a pretty good critique of, you know, our culture and how suicide is very prevalent and one of the biggest issues for first world countries. So I would definitely suggest that you give at least End of Watch, because he clarifies enough of what things have gone on in the previous two books for you to understand what's going on at End of Watch. So I would definitely suggest End of Watch. And if you're into reading the whole trilogy, I mean, the books are only maybe 400 pages each. So if you're into reading the whole series, I would say do it. But if you just want to pick up one of them and kind of get the feel for it, End of Watch is the one that you want to read. So I would suggest that you do read it. 4 out of 5 for End of Watch and the Bill Hodges Trilogy. I'll talk about some other things that I've finished. Right now I'm in the middle of The Passage. It's really crazy. I wouldn't say in the middle. I mean, you can see my little bookmark there. I'm at the very beginning of it, but it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Finished The Fireman. I'll do a review on that, and I've had somebody request that I do Haunted next. So, Haunted will be the next book that I review after The Fireman and The Passage. So that'll be an interesting read. I love Chuck Palahniuk. I think the first book that I read from him was Snuff. Might have been that one. Or Choke. Can't remember which one it was. But I really enjoy his writing style. It's very graphic. Well, that'll be next on the list of books to read. You know, keep a lookout. I will, if you guys have any like questions for like things for me to cover, like, hey, how do you, you know, where do you go to get your books? Or, you know, this or that, whatever. You know, where do you get your, you know, how do you figure out what book you want to read next? You know, just leave a comment and I will answer you. I might even make a video out of it. What? So, until next time, back to the book. Hey everybody, thanks for watching to the end. If you like what you see, you know, subscribe. There's more to come. Leave a like and leave a comment if you want. And I'll respond to all of your comments. Keep a lookout for Haunted. It's my next book to read. Maybe not my next video to publish, but it's my next book to read. I'm a couple of videos ahead in recording versus reading. So. Yeah, just keep a lookout for that. I have a couple of videos to share with you guys right here and right here. So until next time, see ya. That's a bit high. Maybe if I scoot around down this side. Don't fall.